He was like, I gotta step it up a little bit. How about,
Just, you know?
Great Wall of China? How's that sound?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
People are
And then
definitely
he
pushing
fucking,
the
and then he
envelope
broke
with
his ankle
balls.
though. He fucking broke his ankle during the practice run the day
Yeah.
before the actual one, and then he still ended up going and landing it on fucking Showtime, like when it was
With a
Showtime.
broken ankle.
With a broken ankle.
He's
Like-
part robot for sure. I've heard, you know, theories that he's got like robotic parts and all that. Or so many pins and surgery sometimes, you know. That,
Yeah.
it could make him stronger. Some people say.
I
I don't know how people do that, man. It's crazy, isn't it?
It's just, you get that adrenaline fucking going. You start getting those endorphins going in your brain, and you're gonna just block
And
shit
it
out.
can happen
Like,
even to kids. I remember my cousin Ricky when he was younger than 10 years old, and he broke his foot playing a game of football, and he finished the game. He finished the game before before he, took his shoe off and his foot swells up immediately. Like tough little.
It's
bastard.
really that adrenaline power. Yeah, they say that'll get you through some hard times if you just.
He grew up to be a tough little bastard. Actually, he's a bloody good man. He is now. My cousin Ricky.
That kind of shit happens a lot.
Like, I mean, it happens a lot to dirt bike riders when they break their leg or break their ankle.
Oh, yeah.
It boot keeps them all into place, and then once they get off and take it, it's actually it's broken.
When I broke my wrist, it was not the same story. It was an ollie over a 3-stair, and I just, I had like the loose hang, and I was like, oh yeah, that's broken. And I was like, I gotta go home. I was like 13, 14. Yep. I just had started to get ollies, and I went for this 3-stair right by my house, the St. Adalbert's Church. I know Tom knows that one. Yep. And it just started swelling like a softball instantly. I was like, this is broken. I got to go. Like within 5 minutes, it felt like, but I remember before that, I'd seen clips of people like snapping it or like their finger back into place or their nose, and all that stuff. And I was like looking at it for a second, like, can I be a tough guy through this? And I was like, nope, this is broken. I got to go.
You're just like, nope, gotta go.
Even touching it, I just knew instantly. But I was hoping for something cool, like, to be like, no, don't worry, guys, I'll still land that trick. But nope, it took me a couple months to go back there.
Was it your mate Steve that broke his arm and then went and got a slab, then came back?
That's right. Yeah, my friend Dan. He well, actually, he broke his arm skating a penguin pool. And he carried on skating for quite a while after that. Then we helped him get over the fence because it was an old abandoned like petting zoo in there. We had to climb in and out. We helped to get over the fence, and he just went about his business. Half hour later, he's back the other side of the fence calling for help again. We go back there, and he wanted help to get the beers over. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it's been on the hospital first. He went and got booze.
No, he went to get booze. Yeah, come back
to get the medicine for to heal the pain.
Bit more skating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he went to hospital later on that day and had his arm put in a cast. But yeah, he actually makes a lot of the music that goes on my channel.
Oh, awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very, very talented musician. Yeah, very talented. I'll put some links down below. You can check out some of his stuff. He just got signed to a new label as well.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I put some links down there.
Shout out to him.
I've been thinking about that. Those little like for no copyrights, getting that, even though a 15-second chime could be, it could be real memorable and a good part of your brand and all that stuff. So I respect all the music game as well.
Yeah.
Very creative, mate.
Steve's got some good music out too now. He does as well.
Yeah, I make a lot of music for my channel, but skateboarding really like influences the music I make. Actually, I know it sounds weird, but if like, and it's a weird formula that I come up with, but it kind of works. So like, if I go to film someone, people have got like a different tempo to the way they skate. Like some people, when they pop and land, it's quite like pop that, and some people are like pum, dang.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to that space in between the pops, and like the average of that skateboarder. And that dictates the speed of the music I want to use. So that's where I start. That's the BPM sorted, and I'm looking at their body movements and the way they're flowing, and that's going to dictate the rhythm or the bass flow. And I kind of try to make the music to fit the skater that I'm,
Yeah.
But yeah,
this kind of goes back to like what Tom was saying, where he's trying different angles and all that, and it's like a different art.
Yeah, you got to be creative, man. Skateboarding's creative, and everything around it's creative, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like
it's lovely.
Like I'm wicked selective about like what, like usually like when I'm thinking out like whatever clip I'm filming, Like I'm trying to think of what, like kind of the same as what you just said, Steve. Like I'm kind of analyzing the person throughout the first couple of tries and seeing like how they're popping, how they're catching, how they're stopping their trick. Are they light on their feet? Are they just fucking straight up catch and bang? Like I'm trying to kind of figure out their body language and trying to think of some kind of a beat or a flow or so, like some kind of like music reference in my brain at the same time. Like I'm almost like picturing what I want as a final in my brain.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's only just started happening for me recently, but it's really nice.
Yeah.
It's nice feeling,
like when it does work, it's so nice when like you find that perfect fit to the song. Like it's just like it doesn't matter who it is or how good the trick is, as long as it all flows together.
And it can really mean that like a big difference between how much people hold attention to that video as well.
Yeah,
like if you've got a video that works really nice and everything, the music and the camera angles are all nice, and even like we were saying about the sunshine in the background, everything just keeps the audience engagement longer. Everything.
Do you know what I just realized? Like because we skateboard and we started to make videos because we skateboard. Not only are we learning to do the filming, but we're learning a whole sort of different way of looking at the world.
It's true.
And it's strange, like because of skateboarding. When I look at something now, I see it a whole different way. I see everything so much more like, well, you find art in everything, can't you?
That's what it is, definitely.
There's art to it, and there's kind of like an analytical side of it where like you're kind of like measuring everything up, and you're looking for the run up and the cracks and the this and the that. The landing, is it an uphill, a downhill landing? Like you look at everything so much different.
It's funny. Not only do I love skateboarding, I love a lot of the things that skateboarding's brought me. Like because of skateboarding, I learned how to film. Because of skateboarding, I learned how to edit. Because of that, I learned how to do graphic design. Because of that, I'm learning to do 3D animation at the moment, and it's all because of skateboarding.
Yeah,
I always blame skateboarding too for a lot of like not success per se, but just the way I look at things. Like there was a point in my life where I thought I'll never land an ollie. Like I don't get how the board leaves the ground. It just didn't make sense. And then after some time and some hard work and all that stuff, I just relate that to other things in life. Like if you try hard enough, you could get this thing that you thought you could never get. Like a job or whatever it is you're seeking in life. I feel like you can apply it to anything, a recipe when you're cooking. If you get all the right ingredients, talking about some of those, the editing and stuff, like we just said earlier, like I'm thinking like a movie director and stuff instead of a skateboarder some days, because I'm thinking of how I'm going to edit these clips or, and you, like you said, with the music, you think about like, ooh, what song would match this vibe, how you land some tricks and stuff. So I couldn't have said it better. You guys already said it, it's really, we're using it, not just it's doing something to our brains, right? In a good way. It's helping us think
you say that you can use skateboarding in everywhere, because if you think about it, like you put your foot placement can determine whether you land the trick nice or you fall on your ass. And it's the same as like at camera angle, might just be that little bit lower where you need it. Everything's all fine adjustments, and it's a big learning curve. Yeah, for sure.
I never would have expected that I'd get more than just a little bit of fun, but like the fact that you're learning and meeting great people and all, it's just like, why wouldn't you skateboard at this point? I mean, all the good is bringing. And I mean, I'm not sure if you guys talked about this in some of the early episodes, but the fact that I think this year skateboarding was brought into the Olympics. I feel like that, got it a big attention boost, and it might have been part of why I was like, maybe I should try doing this more, because like it's a little more respectable to the public. I was kind of looking for a good reason to get back into it. So the Olympics, running into Tom again earlier this year, and and like I said, the skate temper challenges, the 3-trick challenges, all these cool ideas that I hear from people. It just keeps inspiring me. So I'm like, keep putting out content, guys, and throwing your ideas up, because I love hearing it.
Yeah, that skate temper is a good idea. I think it's a better idea than the Olympics, man. Where I live, the Olympics has invited the whole world and their extended family into the skate park, man. Just 1,000, like, I'm exaggerating hugely, but a lot of like middle-aged women on their phones or gossiping, not paying attention to where their kids are. And then
we had that a couple times at the park, Tom and I too. It's a rough balance sometimes.
That's how you lost your tooth, wasn't it?
I don't want to talk about it. Still scarred. I can't do freaking frontside kick turns anymore. So scared.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you was blind corner as well.
Yeah, I was going up and I was turning this way, so like I was blind going up to it. I was looking at the freaking at the ramp because it was like it's probably like an 8-foot corner, but at the top it's basically straight up.
Yeah.
It's basically like the last foot is rope. So
yeah,
I'm going up and I was just doing like a little like almost like a little like 5-0 slash like kick turn kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that like second and a half where I wasn't looking around, I was focusing on that fucking quarter pipe.
Yeah.
And then go up, turn, and as I'm looking down to spot my landing, I was about almost 90 degrees around my kick turn, and then I look and boom, there's 2 kids right there. So I was like, okay, well, here we go. Jump or destroy them. So I jumped and I still destroyed them, but not too bad. And my face met concrete. So we're best friends now.
That's why I've been scared.
I've been joining them a lot. I've been meeting up and having conversations with the concrete a lot over this last 6 months. So yeah, I'm ready for winter time. I want fluffy powder I'll literally fucking jump a 80-foot fucking jump and Superman that bitch and
it's nice to land and cushion. It feels like a foam pit. I was thinking about that because lately for me, I've been thinking about getting like those wrist guards I see a lot of people wear because I've been slapping my hands a lot and I feel like, knock on wood here for the superstition, but I just feel like, they can only take so many falls. I should probably put a little protective thing because it seems to be the thing. When I fall, it's my hands, you know, and I feel
it's
like
a natural instinct to go forward. So
I feel like over the years, I really, at some point I got real like focused on like someone saying like, it's just as important how you fall as how you land. And so I tried thinking about like, not falling as hard and then, trying certain tricks. I'm like, so when I try certain tricks that are newer, I'm like, I got to think about how this could go wrong as well sometimes, and I'm like, it's always my hands. It's always my hands that land. So I'm thinking
that's another thing too. You got to remember, you're not only just learning to skateboard, you've got to learn to fucking fall as well.
Exactly. Yeah. And I try to tell, some people that might have not been skating as long or just starting up again. And I'm like, think about how, like, if you fall, you probably want like your hands out. And when right before Tom got to Cook's Park that day, there was a kid that was a little younger and he fell and he hit his head, not too bad, but it was a little smack, and I could tell it hurt him a little bit and I made sure he was okay and whatnot. But then I was like, what really helped me when I started, I would always want to do like front side board slide or a backside 180. And I hit my head a couple times, I told them, and someone told me to like keep my chin in my chest. If I feel like I'm going that way for front side tricks, especially took my chin into my chest. So hopefully your head doesn't hit, and and with the falling forward, maybe not the best advice, but I was like, try to put your hands out. So try to protect your head because it's, you don't want to hit, you could maybe hit your hands and feet, but careful with the head, so I gave him a little tip like that.
I'd rather a broken hand than a broken jaw.
Yeah. And again, just even that, I felt kind of like, oh, I did my good karma today or something, I was like, that was advice that helped me, over the years. And I was like, I was glad to be able to use it, and pass it on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That was definitely a big thing. We were never really taught how to fall properly back in the day. That was definitely a key component that our buddy left out. He would just be like I've said in the past, like he'd be like, hey, you see that 12 stair over there? If you want to come skate with us today, you gotta send a trick down that, and not just an ollie. You gotta send a trick. And we'd just be like, okay. Like, film me, yay! And then he wouldn't film you anyways, and then you just eat shit and die.
The best way to teach people to fall is put them on fucking rollerblades.
Yeah.
Go out and go and skate them for a few hours. You'll learn how to fucking fall, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, you fall a lot, dude. I used to fall all the time when I used to rollerblade, dude. Every 5 minutes I'd be slamming.
Yeah.
There's certain big tricks like, talking about parks and like mini ramps and stuff. I've been wanting to catch a little bit of air, like ollie off the side of ramps lately, but how people do the front side air back into the ramp. I haven't been able to get that, but I keep thinking I might want to get a helmet to try like those over the coping. If I'm going over the coping, I'm like, that's when I'll probably wear a helmet. But I will say like, the tricks that I feel like I try now, I'm like, I think I know how to fall, again, knock on wood over here, but I'm like, definitely thinking about I've been looking at helmets because I'm like tempted to try to go over the coping, like I just said. So
do you know what? I've recently just learned to get above coping,
Yeah.
Today, actually, I was quite proud of myself. I launched out of a 6 foot and aired out the top of it into a 5 foot, like a transfer.
Oh,
Like I'd went with my
Nice.
board. I'd
Felt good.
one run literally went with my board. But yeah,
nice.
it's pretty good. And I should
yeah.
wear a helmet. I've got one up there. You see?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Even and speaking of like falling, I noticed like the vert skaters, you know, they tend to go to their elbow pads and knee pads a lot. Like there's just slide out. If they fall, it's not even a big deal, and they fall from some high up heights. So
yeah,
it's important.
yeah. A lot of people who don't wear pads or helmets or anything, when they do, they get confident goes up more too.
Yeah, I'm torn on that too, because you know, for safety, I'm all about the safety, but I'm also it's cool when you have like even a kick turn or something that you're confident about, and if you could keep that going with all your other tricks, like I'm pretty confident with like a front. If I ollie something, I always say like I'm gonna front side 180 it, because like I think like I can do those equally. So I'm like, okay, so I'm a little confident with that trick, but like I said, there's tricks that I'm thinking of doing that I'm like I'm gonna get a helmet before I try that, because you know, just to be safe. But yeah.
You know, it's funny. There's some things that I'd rather front side 180 off than just regular ollie off.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
I feel that too. Yeah, because I feel like my back, like my tail and my back foot are gonna get left behind and not clear the gap. But if I throw my weight forward, you know,
Right.
got a better chance. Yeah. And some days, you know, you guys, I'm sure can relate too. Some days it's like I don't even got the old tricks down, so I'm like, you know, keep trying.
Hey, Roger, question for you. You know when you're saying you're doing your switch 50-50s?
Yeah.
Can you come out switch? Do you find it easy to come out switch?
Yeah, that was the hard part. For a while, my natural instinct was to like fakie front 180 out of the switch 50-50.
Yeah, because that's what I do.
Yep, or do something to right out. But yeah, I've been trying to push myself. I just think about it. If you ever practice like a nose manual, you know, and like not ollie nose manual, just a little ride nose manuals. I do those sometimes. And I feel like that's what I tell myself when I'm in a switch 50-50, I kind of got a nose manual out, and it's like a switch 5-0 out, you know what I mean? So that's more like psyching myself out. It's like you either got it or you don't some days, but I'm like, well, if I can do that and I can do that, maybe.
I've been trying fakie 5-0s. So you come on fakie and then it's like a nose grind, but
it's a
switch. No, but I'm going nose. Is that fakie 5-0 or is that fakie nose?
Oh, this is a big debate, I feel like.
Switch 5-0.
It's switch 5-0.
No, wait, you're going fakie and then
switch 5-0,
and then going onto my nose, like nose grinding.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think it'd technically be
switch.
It's a fakie nose grind. If you're in fakie, this is what I think. If you're in fakie, anything that you do regular, it's the same. Even though like a fakie nose, you're technically going into a switch 5-0, right? A fakie nose, but it's a switch 5-0, but I would still call it the fakie nose. You know what I mean?
I'm going this way, but yeah, I don't know.
You're goofy.
Pop up and stay
right. No, regular.
Oh, you're regular too. Okay, so if you're going fakie and you're leaning like if you were doing a manual, you're technically in a switch nose grind, right? But it's still a fakie 5-0. You see what I'm saying? But it looks like a switch nose grind. But if you're going fakie nose grind, you're actually doing a switch 5-0.
Yeah,
but it's still a fakie nose grind to me. That's how I think, but that's a big debate.
Well, that's what I've been working on.
That's awesome though, yeah.
So that makes sense. If you pop switch onto it, then if you pop switch, then it's a switch crook. If you pop fakie, it's a fakie 5-0. No, that makes perfect sense, man. That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
But I know it's a debate on when you're in switch and nollie, what's front side and what's backside, you know. That's a whole nother. I won't take up your time with that too much, but that's
Well, I've actually got that one figured out now. That's quite simple.
Yeah,
it's quite simple. Yeah.
Technically, the opposite of what it is, unless it's fakie, because then any of your fakie stuff is the same as your regular stance. So your switch and your nollie shit is actually backwards to what it really should be. So your front sides are your back sides, your back sides are your front sides.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like
only with nollie. With nollie. Your switch regular is and fakie are all the same. Nollie is the opposite.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
I just do tricks and I let people battle it out in the comments.
Yeah.
I'm like,
what was
it? I got a nollie backside 180.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
Nollie backside or front side? Is that front side? I don't know.
That's technically a front side.
Going behind you.
I'm going this way. So I'm rolling this way. I'm rolling this way, and then I'm doing that.
You're doing
that's nollie backside.
Nollie backside,
but you want to call it a front side because you're doing a switch front side rotation. But because you're regular, it's
I got a nollie 180.
Yeah, right. We'll just leave it at that sometimes.
Have you seen this craze that's going on YouTube of people posting shorts where they put like nonsense trick names? They just write anything other than what it is. Like Poser thinks he can do a kickflip, and then you look on it and it's just like some dude doing like a beautiful, beautiful hard flip down a 10 slip or something.
Yeah,
Like,
call that
nollie laser
the
flip or
clickbait.
some shit, and it's like, what? Like it would be cooler if you just told me what trick it was. I would have been more than happy to click on it if you said nollie fucking big heel down a freaking 12 step. I'd be like,
that's definitely like a marketing tactic, like the clickbait. They're like, oh, this guy sucks, he should quit, and then he does a 360 flip down a 20 stair, and it's like you just bait it, because I was they're playing with your strings, like, well, what did he do that he's getting such hatred? Like, what did he do that was so bad? And then you find out he didn't do nothing wrong. He's actually a professional 360 flipper.
It's like he's like the nastiest dude out there. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I'm like, you got me. And then I'm like, geez, man, that's clickbait when you're expecting something, so it piques your curiosity, and then you just find out you were lied to. Somebody said that, oh, shitty kick.
I feel robbed.
Right. Yeah.
So I want my 30 seconds back, you bastard. Motherfucker.
I literally titled one of my videos clickbait just for the hell of it.
Well, yeah, sometimes it's fun to mess with people, but
I got like 30 views.
Oh, damn.
That's a whole nother trying to figure out,
it was some like, really? It was like, I literally told you it was clickbait, and then you didn't even click on it. But
you still don't want to look at it.
But then you'll click on clickbait that you know is clickbait.
If you put in not clickbait, then people would have clicked on it.
That's what I'm saying. I might change it so I can mix it up. You know what I'm saying? I've just been going in and changing titles on old videos that have really low views, and just like changing those, changing some of the tags in them and shit, and like
that like revamp it. It's like
sometimes
it's like a
re-release into the algorithm. So whatever.
Yeah. It's a whole nother thing, right? Like with Instagram, like where I try to post most of my skateboarding stuff. I'm trying to use YouTube more as well, but the reels versus just a post. There's like the reels.
Those are
right. They'll get seen by more people potentially, but also you can make the cover. I learned recently the cover photo could be something completely different that's not in the video, and it could be used for clickbait, but it could also be cool because you could show a picture of like something you want to promote and get your footage in there, and so it's a kind of a win-win sometimes. But possibilities.
I feel like there's been times I've posted two of the exact same videos, like one as a short, one as a reel. And there's literally like multiple times I've done it, and I'll get jack shit for a short. Like I'll get maybe 50 views or something like that, like like garbage. And then the same video, same song, same exact edit will go up on Instagram, and I'll get fucking 5,000 views. And it's like, okay, and then I have a couple new followers, and I get all that kind of shit. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Day depends on it as well.
Yeah,
depends on what I post it.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah, I hear. I've heard people speculate about like the time of day. Like people say most people work like a 9 to 5 kind of job, so they're like, don't post until after 5 when everyone's home, relaxing. You're about to eat dinner, you might scroll around on your phone or wherever. So, and people are like, don't bother posting at like 10 or 11. People are working, but it's like, but you can't put a finger on the pulse sometimes, because you never know. One day, well, I've heard also if like one person's looking up, like I'll hashtag switch, hashtag ollie when I do a switch ollie or something. And then you never know if someone's looking up that hashtag, right? That's let me just look up an ollie to work on my own. If they have a big following and they like it, it could be recommended to their followers and then their followers and their followers. Because I've noticed that with the reels, some days, some of them have gotten in the hundreds, and I'm like, how? I don't even have that many followers, but it's because it was just in the algorithm, right? It was just exposed more. Yeah. So it's cool to, that's a whole nother little side of the aspect of it that we could, go down the rabbit hole on.
That's a tricky one, dude. Really trying to figure out that whole algorithm shit and how it works, because also they're constantly changing how the algorithm works. So like they'll switch up if it's from tags, or if it's from hashtags, or if it's from keywords, or a certain letter or a number,
right?
Or like a certain word that's said in the first 30 seconds of the fucking of the video. Like they have a way of like tweaking all that shit. So it's like you never know what part of the algorithm they're actually using until that one person figures it out, and then they tell everyone, this has been working lately, so if you smash the like button, YouTube's really been liking the like button. And then they'll slowly start weeding it out of that being a part of it, and something else becomes the mainstay for the algorithm. And because everybody's going to go to this, and then it leaves this one open to the few people that figure that out. So it's that battle back and forth.
That's what it is.
Mind fuck.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And with the back to the Instagram reel thing, it's cool that, you know, you can add like a clip of a song that you might get copyright strike or something on YouTube or Twitter, but Instagram is allowing you can, you know, I'm sure you guys have all seen, you could, you know, pick some little music clip, and sometimes people might be interested just because they like your music taste, I'm noticing too. And it's cool that if you eventually grow enough, I've noticed some channels can just be like, what do you guys want me to do? If you don't want me to 50-50 anymore, I won't. If you just want me to work on switch ollies for the rest of my channel or whatever, you know? So it's cool to, you know, engage with your community sometimes too, because they're like, dude, keep trying. Don't give up on that fakey kickflip. Like, why did you stop doing that? I'm like, okay, maybe I'll try that tomorrow. And, you know, it'll be cool.
Well, boys, man, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate all of you, especially you, Rocha, mate, you know, taking the time out to come and talk to us.
Thank you for having me. It's been, you know, it's awesome. It's like, I've been watching the show, and I've been wanting to, you know, like I've been saying, you know, link up with similar minds and, you know, keep spreading that love and positivity. Yep.
Well, come and join us one day again on maybe on Soapboard on our skateboarder review show, man.
I would definitely love to. Yep. Yeah. Thanks again.
Awesome. We'll pencil it in and we'll make a day.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Peace,
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, dude.
Peace, guys.
See you guys.
Have a good one.
Don't know.